This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 378, How to Double Your Pull-Ups in 6 Weeks, by John Romaniello of RomanFitnessSystems.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik, your narrator of blogs covering health and fitness. I read to you from some of the most popular blogs out there, with permission from the authors, of course. And then on Fridays, I answer your questions. Plus, don't forget, if you send in an audio question, it makes me very happy because I love answering them. And you're entered into bonus raffles to win books from us. So, if you want to be in the next raffle happening on New Year's Day, which is just 5 days away, send in your audio question before then. You can record straight from your computer's microphone by going to oldpodcast.com, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and call in your question. The number is 61 I love OHD. So today's episode is all about pull-ups. I hated pull-ups. When my buddy and I used to work out, he'd have a pull-up bar in his backyard. He would be just hammering away, doing rep after rep of pull-ups. I would sit there and could barely do one or two, and I'd be like, I quit, I'm done, I can't do these. And it seemed like I would never get past that plateau, like I would never improve. I tried working on my biceps and forearms to make sure those were strong. My grip strength, nothing seemed to help. So let's hear John Romaniello's advice on the topic, and then I'll share with you whether or not it worked for me as well. So let's jump right in, hear another post, and continue optimizing your life. How to Double Your Pull-Ups in 6 Weeks, by John Romaniello of RomanFitnessSystems.com. A few weeks back, I got a text message from a buddy of mine asking an interesting question. Actually, it was less of a question and more of a favor. He wanted to be able to double the amount of pull-ups that he was able to do. So I wrote him a program, then decided that this would make a good blog post. And so here we are. Alex wants to essentially double his number of pull-ups, which, to be honest, is not only possible, but also, assuming you have the right programming, is also fairly simple. The question, of course, is why? That is, why worry so much about pull-ups? Well, for a few reasons, starting with how bad pull-ups are. You see, pull-ups aren't just a great body weight exercise, they're a great exercise, period. Not only are pull-ups one of the most effective movements for increasing size and strength in the muscles of the upper back, they're also a fantastic core exercise. Moreover, pull-ups are probably the single best way to measure relative strength, which is a fancy way of referring to how strong you are relative to your body weight. So this is relevant for a number of reasons. Outside of just giving you hardcore bragging rights, higher levels of relative strength have carryover to nearly every basic movement pattern involved in athletics, namely running and jumping. Put another way, speaking generally, people with better relative strength also have faster run times and higher vertical leaps. Does this mean that increasing your pull-ups is going to immediately increase your 40-yard dash or your vertical leap? Probably not. However, assuming you continue to train those, I strongly believe that you'll see better progress there because your overall relative strength is better. Pretty cool, huh? Moving on from athletics, let's talk aesthetics. If you're a guy, doing more pull-ups will help you develop a nice V-taper that can fill out a suit jacket quite nicely. If you're a woman, pull-ups will help you develop the musculature of a sexy back that looks great in a nice dress. Finally, as I mentioned, extreme bragging rights. All of this, of course, leads up to the point of this post. How do you double the total number of pull-ups you can do? Simple. Practice. Yep, that's it. Just practice. Okay, there's a bit more to it than that. You see, when you're looking to have a radical increase in the number of reps you can perform on an exercise, you're really looking at increasing strength endurance and neurological efficiency. The best way to do this is to perform the exercise as frequently as possible. Practice makes perfect, so practice often, right? Right. Of course, you can't simply do as many reps as you can as often as you can, because after a day or two, you'd be too fatigued to continue, and your performance would drop off. Instead, you work with a smaller percentage of your total workload, usually about 50 to 60%. If you're looking to increase the maximum weight you can lift, this would mean that you would work with a lighter weight and perform the exercise frequently. If you're looking to increase the total number of reps, like with pull-ups, you work with a percentage of your current max reps and do that frequently enough to exceed your current max. This increases both proficiency and, because you'll be building to a greater number of reps, strength endurance increases as a byproduct. Now, I know you're probably bored of me talking and you just want the program, so let's get to that. Weeks 1 and 2. Perform 50% of your current max for 6 sets, split throughout the day. Perform one set of approximately 75% of your max. Do this 3 days per week. By the end of week 2, you should be able to perform the set of 75% with ease. Here's an example. Alex can do 22 pull-ups. So in his case, he is going to perform 6 sets of 11 pull-ups. 50% times 22 is 11, split throughout the day. At the end of the day, he will perform one set of 15 pull-ups. Technically, 75% of 22 is 16, but that's a stupid number and 15 is easier to work with. Now, chances are, the first few times he goes through this, he won't even be able to get 15 on that final set. However, by the end of week 2, I'm willing to guess he'll be able to bang out 15 with no problem. His strength endurance has increased, and he's been building efficiency. Week 3. Perform 60% of your current max for 7 sets, split throughout the day. Perform one set of 90% of your max. Do this 2 days per week. By the end of week 3, you should be able to perform. Then take 3 days off and retest your max at some point during this period. Example. Alex will perform 7 sets of 13 pull-ups, split throughout the day. At the end of the day, he'll perform one set of 20 reps. At this point, Alex is probably able to hit 20 reps by the end of the second attempt at this. His endurance will have increased. Anyway, the results, not bad. Alex would have increased his max number of pull-ups by 30%. So now what? We reset, of course. After that week, he'll begin back at week 1. Only this time, his max represents 29 pull-ups. Therefore, Alex's new week 1 would look something like this. He'll perform 6 sets of 15 reps split throughout the day. At the end of the day, he'll perform a set of 22 pull-ups. Chances are he'll have a little trouble with this until the end of week 2. For week 3, Alex will now perform 7 sets of 17 pull-ups split throughout the day. At the end of the day, he'll perform one set of 26 pull-ups. He'll then take 3 days off and retest. I'm confident that when he does, he'll be at 40 or more. So there you have it. A fun and effective, but difficult, way to double your pull-ups in 6 weeks. Certainly it's not easy, but it is incredibly effective. If you have the guts, give it a try. You just listened to the post titled, How to Double Your Pull-Ups in 6 Weeks by John Romaniello of RomanFitnessSystems.com. I love how organized and clear this program is. I basically used pretty much the same system when I was trying to increase my pull-ups, but it was, again, more casual, and I wish I had this system outlined so perfectly for me way back when. I did eventually increase my max number of pull-ups. I can do about 50 without stopping. What I did was essentially what John said in the beginning, which was anytime I had a moment's break, I would be doing pull-ups. So even if I was at the gym, and let's say I was working my legs, in between rest periods when I was quote-unquote supposed to be resting, I would do pull-ups. And there would be days, just as John mentioned, where I wouldn't be able to do that many, and other days I would just be able to bang them out no problem. And so he's absolutely right that it takes practice, and you have to stick to it. You have to keep doing it. And I promise, just like John promises, you will break through that plateau. So if this is a weakness, you probably just need to hone in on it, focus some attention on this weakness, and then it'll soon become your strength, pun intended. All right, don't forget, you can be in a small raffle on New Year's Day for a free book if you send in an audio question. To do that, just come by oldpodcast.com and click on the red bar along the right side of the page. Or you can always call in. The number is 61 I Love OHD. And you can find this info in the episode's description too. There are probably topics that you would like me to discuss. Topics maybe that I haven't gotten to yet. If that's the case, send me an audio question. I'll be happy to answer it on a Friday Q&A. All right, that's it for today. Hope you're having a great week. Thank you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with a post from Healthline, where they always cite their research and their sources, which I love. So I'll see you there, where optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show, and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.